Hey, Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me. Today, I want to talk about in this lesson what a question Pontius Pilate asked Yeshua during his, I guess you call interview, mock trial, whatever, interrogation. And it was in John 18:38 when Pontius Pilate asked Yeshua, he's like, "What is truth?" And you think that's an odd question, but it was something actually that the Romans didn't understand when the word and the concept of truth. What is truth? And he wasn't just pressing on the fact that what is your truth? He's like, what is truth? But here I got in this book right here, I'm going to read from the synonym book right here about truth. And it says here in the truth, excuse me, the words are a little bit little, so bear with me. Truth says reality, actuality, archaic, soothe, gospel, gospel truth, naked truth, unvarnished truth, straight goods, facts, lowdown, scoop, story, inside information, intelligence. It says fact, certainty, certitude, principle, rule, law, fundamental, canon, faithfulness, honesty, closeness, strictness, and it goes on right here. But that's in this book right here that I just wanted to share with you. Now I'm going to go to the new Britannica Webster Dictionary and Reference Guide. And it's just a dictionary here. And I'm going to look up the word truth here. Truth should be right around here somewhere. Truth, right here it says truth. Archaic, fidelity, constancy, constancy, sincerity in action, character, and utterance. Something that is real or true as a real state of things, fact, the body of real things, events, and facts. A judgment, proposition, idea, or statement that is true or accepted as true. The body of such truths, the property of being in accord with what has been or must be. So that's what the Bible there, the dictionary here says. Now, I'll go to the scriptures here and let's see what the scriptures has to say. And I already told you about, Pontius Pilate, what is truth. So I'm going to go to Isaiah because a lot of people don't know the truth these days. And not just biblical truth, but truth in general. We have this like gender problem, gender identification. I identify as, male, female, goat, sheep, whatever. And when they say identify, they're actually saying I'm pretending to be. I'm pretending to be what I am not. That is not truth. And that's just one aspect. There's so many other things about truth and fiction, truth and false, truth and fiction, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to go to Isaiah 59 right here. I'm going to start with 11. And I'm going to skip a verse, but 59:11 in Isaiah. We roar like the bears and mourn sore like doves. We look for judgment, but there is none, for salvation, but it is far off from us. I'm going to skip down to 13 here. And transgressing and lying against Yahweh and departing away from our Elohim, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And falsehood is the opposite of truth. And judgment is turned away backwards, and justice standeth afar off, for truth has fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. So everything's flip-flopping around, and this is like sort of like talking about our times where, people calling good evil and evil good and stuff like that. It's not, it's just, unbelievable. But that's what the scriptures, talks about here. It happened back then, and it's happening right now. So I'm going to go to, I'll go to 15. I'm going to do the 15 right here. It says, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him, and there was no judgment. So yeah, if you the truth faileth away in part, if you start speaking up, talking about the real truth, the pure real truth, you become a target. And that's like the cancel culture today. If you speak truth, cancel culture comes along because it's not politically correct, and they just shame you and everything else. They do their best to ruin you professionally and personally. And it's just a sad state of affairs, plain and simple. I'm going to jump to the book of Romans right now, chapter 8, verse 7. Let's see what Paul has to say here. Because the carnal mind is hostile against Elohim, for it is not subject to the law of Elohim, neither indeed can be. So that's why this truth and false are getting mixed up and topsy-turvy around, because the carnal mind is hostile towards the way of Yahweh, the holiness. It's just how it is, Now I'm going to go to, back to Psalms, see what the book of Psalms has to say about it. Paper. Psalms and 52. I'm going to go to Psalms 52. 52 and verses 2 to 4. It says here, the tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, all thou deceitful tongue. The deceitful tongue. When you lie or bear false witness or testimony, you're telling a falsehood. You're not telling the truth, and that's what this is getting at right here. It's not, it's not right. It's truth is truth. No matter if you either want to deny it or make yourself believe it's not true. It is true no matter what. Plain and simple. Now we'll go to the book of Jeremiah here, chapter 17. Follow along if you have a Bible. 17. I'm gonna go to first. I'm gonna do it skipping again here. Chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusts a man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from Yahweh. And I'm going to go to 7 here. Blessed is the man that trusts in Yahweh, and whose hope Yahweh is. And I'm going to go to 9 and 10 right here. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Yahweh, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. So they're going to, the heart is deceitful above all things. I accept the Lord in my heart is what a lot of people say. Your heart can be deceitful. Trust me. And, the boundaries between truth and false gets a little blurred a little bit here and there. So people that don't know any better can accept truth or refuse to, or don't look into things. When somebody tells you something, you don't investigate it. You take it for granted. You just take it all for granted. We'll go to book of John, the New Testament. John here in verse 8. Try to sum, and this will be, I'll conclude with this here, of course, and oops, one more page. Chapter 8, verse 7. Chapter 8, verse 7, and John says, So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. Yep, cast a stone at her. So what I'm trying to get at here is casting a stone. These people that the woman caught in adultery, when they caught in adultery, they weren't actually looking for truth and justice. They was trying to find Yeshua to try to trap him in a lie. They didn't tell the whole truth because they all walked away that they were hypocrites too. They were all hypocrites, and they didn't cast a stone. And there was a little more to the story behind that the scripture's not telling you. And I have my suspicions on some of that stuff, of course. But I'm going to go to same book, chapter 8 again. I'm going to go to, 31 to 32. 31 to 32. And it says here, then said Yeshua to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples. Then you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, or the truth shall set you free. So if we abide in Yeshua, he is the author of truth. He cannot lie. And Yahweh, he can't lie either. Plain and simple, like I always say, plain and simple. I love saying that word, but because it's plain and it's simple. That's what the scripture is. You read into it and, let it interpret itself. That's what it is. And what is truth? We're going through a truth dilemma today in today's society. Cancel culture, of course, and nobody wants to create their own pseudo truths, and political correctness is getting really, really out of hand. But hopefully, it'd be restored. Everything would be restored the way it is. And, the truth hurts sometimes. I think Tom Cruise, he asked Jack Nicholson a question. He's like, you can't handle the truth. And that's true. That is a little truthful with human nature. But anyways, that's all I want to say about that. And I thank you again for joining me. Also, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell and also subscribe. And I thank you again for joining me. Until next time, peace out and shalom.